In this episode, you will get to know strings and some specific functions only available to strings. Hi guys, and welcome back to the next episode of the Kotlin programming series. As I said in the intro, in this episode we'll go over the data type strings, and we will get to know, and I will show you some specific functions only available to strings. So, to get started, we will start with a simple variable of the type name equals Bobby. That's the name of my cat. And we will append something to the string Bobby. As I showed you in the last episode, we could define that this is a string, but by default, Kotlin will always decide that this is already a string. So we will add an insert of is a nice cat. So to print that out, we're just gonna hit print line and say name and print line insert. And if we run this, you will see in the console output that both of them are printed in a separate line and not appended to each other. So as you can see down here, we got Bobby, and the space is a nice cat. As we wrote it here, in here is also a space. So next one, we are going to append those strings together. One way we could do, first way of joining strings together is print out the name and the insert. So if you print that out, in the last line you will see Bobby is a nice cat, all in the same line. And then we got method 2. Method 2 is creating a new variable named combined sentence, that is name plus is a nice cat, and don't forget the space. And then we can also say print line combined sentence, and also that will give us one console output for each sentence we printed out. So this would be in the last line, and that is the line before that. But also we could say in the print statement, we could say name plus what we want to append is my cat's name, and hit rerun again, and we will see Bobby is my cat's name. Okay, so another cool way to combine a variable which has already been defined and combine it with another string to join them together is if you want to print out to the user like the age. So we're going to say val age equals to 12 and print that out to the console, print line, and say we want to say age, or you could say your $age years old. And that's what's that going to be doing is, firstly, you define the string and all the words will be printed as you type them. So in the console we will see your, years, and old, and the $sign is for the Kotlin compiler, which is going to recognize that a value is assigned to the name age and print the value instead of the name age. So we run that again, and we will see in the console you're 12 years old. So the age reference is going to be replaced with 12. So that's cool and is used in everyday cases like I've shown you here. For example, the age, you won't say age you want to say the real age, so the value of the val. Some specific functions only available to strings. We are going to make a name, like I'm gonna say my domain name equals devbrew, and now I want to know how long is the domain name. So I could go and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 characters are in the domain name, or I'm gonna say print line domain name. Domain name dot length, and this returns the length of this character sequence. A string is a character sequence, so we're gonna run that again, and as you see down below here, 7, and we counted 7, so that's totally counting right. And if you want to say I wrote that in camel case, but now I need it for my website to be, or for the console output, I need it all uppercase. So we are gonna type in print line domain name, which is the var name, and say we need it uppercase, or we're gonna say we need it all lowercase. So that's a predefined function only available to strings, and hit run again, and now all is uppercase and all is lowercase. We could say, so dev brew is from development and brewing, coffee brewing. So to split dev and brew and explain the idea behind this domain name, we're gonna say print line and say name dot substring. So we're gonna rip apart the domain name devbrew into single pieces, but not the D, the E, and the V each separately. But we want to start with 0, and now we are wanting the DEV. So we're gonna count 0, 1, 2. So we're gonna say 0 and 2, and this will return before the D and after the V. So that should be DEV. Okay, so we got that, and now we're gonna just explain why I chose this for my domain name. And as I've shown you above, we're gonna use the double quote and $sign and paste that behind that. So this is not going to be printed out to the console, rather it's going to be compiled and the DEV will be returned. So you could say this will show DEV after we print that, and going to explain that stands for development, and substring it again. So we are wanting to start at 3 and go to 7. Stands for coffee brewing, and we're gonna hit run again. I forgot to include another bracket here, so this will be run. Cut. So let's run that, and you can see down below I made a mistake. Only $sign will only be cool for the name, and I forgot to use the domain name, and secondly, if you want to process something in a print line, you need to add curly braces for that. So you're gonna append those. So that will firstly be processed, afterwards gonna be appended to this. And if we now run that, I miscounted myself. So if you're gonna rerun that, now it's totally correct. uppercase and lowercase as we typed here, and DEV stands for development and brew stands for coffee brewing. So that's pretty cool. And one function you will not daily use, but it could be useful, is if you want to check if a specific string contains a specific letter. So we want, in the following I will show you how to get all of the characters in a string to an array. And we're gonna say val secret key is a string, and Bobby is my lovely cat 1 2 3, and we're gonna check all the letters and numbers independently. For that we're gonna say that's our variable letters, and gonna say secret key dot to char array. And if you can't imagine what's that be doing, we are gonna say print line letters letter and hit run again, and that will show you what it's doing. Now it's doing nothing, so we say content to string, and now it's gonna be another printout, but now each char is in the array separately placed. So we got this, and now you could say I want to get the second or third letter in the string, so we're gonna say println letter and use the rectangular brackets and say I want to get the index of letter and get the second index. So B is 0, O is 1, O is 2. So run that again, and you will find out that down below you will see an O. So just to show it to you, I was going to say 7 and run again, and now it's an M. Let's count that. B is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 is an M, and it's printed out, so that is also pretty cool. If you got any further questions or something I should cover, write that down in the comment section, and we will see each other in the next episode. Have a great day. Bye bye.